Joining us on the journey today is the original Dream Girl. She's an actress, author, and activist who is a force in TV and film. Please welcome to the journey, Sheryl Lee Ralph.
Now, I don't usually get starstruck, but I got a little starstruckness today, okay? Listen, it is so good to have you here. I am so honored and humbled for you just accepting this invitation to be a part of this, and I've been looking forward to this. And it is good to be able to say that I'm sitting next to the original Dream Girl, right?
Thank you.
I told somebody, I said, Beyonce has some big shoes to fill because of your work. So what are you doing now? Tell us what you're doing right now.
Right now, I'm starring on Broadway in a musical called Wicked. Thank you. Thank you. It's a wonderful musical about what happened to the witches of Oz before Dorothy came to the Emerald City.
All right.
Yes, and I play Madame Morrible. I'm actually the witch, the teaching witch that discovers the evil witch who's not evil at all. She's actually quite a good young woman, but the powers that be realize that she is powerful. They realize that they cannot control her, and so they decide that they are going to label her wicked and crucify her. A story we've heard before, huh?
Absolutely, with
yes.
Being misunderstood.
She's completely misunderstood. She only came to do good.
Were there moments in your journey that you felt misunderstood?
Oh my goodness. I feel like I'm just being understood now.
Wow.
I have lived my life walking in my joy. I have lived my life walking in the comfort of being who I am. And that confuses people.
Absolutely.
I was born black. And I love it.
Yeah. I know that's right.
I never wanted to bleach it away. I never wanted God to make me something else. I was happy being black. I love me. I love me, and that confuses people.
I love you too.
Thank you.
But how difficult is it in your industry, in your business? Why are people so intoxicated with pretentiousness?
Oh, you know something? I don't know if they are intoxicated with pretentiousness or they just are pretentious. Because people always say, you know, oh, well, I used to know so-and-so, and then they got a little famous and they changed. No, they were always that way before. The money just freed them to show you who they really are. So when people walk around acting all high and mighty and all of that, trust me, that does not mean that you change who you are. You are just as nice to them. You let them go on. Trust me. Let them carry on. I say to some people, I look at them and I say, I was here before you, and I'll be here long after you're gone.
I know that's right. Talk to me about your foundation.
I created the Diva Foundation, divinely inspired, victoriously, alive, awesome, audacious, and since it's Sunday, we are anointed. The Diva Foundation, because when I started out 35 years ago, on Broadway in Dreamgirls. It was such an awful time. I saw my friends get sick and die. They got sick and they dropped dead of a mysterious disease. And the little church girl in me said, wait a minute, how can we turn our backs on people? No matter what you think about them, their sexual preference, no matter any of those things, they are human beings.
Yeah.
They're children of God.
Yeah.
And we are supposed to love. Because I never read in my Bible where God said, well, we're going to love some of these people some of the time.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
So I created this foundation to be a living, breathing memorial to the many friends that I lost to AIDS.
Your career has spanned some time and tremendous success.
It'll be 40 years.
40 years.
It'll be 40 years.
Wow. Now, you've already expressed some of it. Along the way, clearly, setbacks and challenges. How have you dealt with those things so you don't necessarily internalize the setbacks in such a way that it kind of stifles you?
I have been very, very fortunate that I have been mentored in life by people. There have always been people in church. That's why a place like this is so important, to find not just spiritual food, but to find life food, to find friendship, to find connection, to find kinship. Yeah. There was always somebody who saw something in me, and they poured into me their wisdom. And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about it, and I have to thank God for everybody who took the time.
Yeah.
There are a lot of places I thought I should have been, but I am right where I am supposed to be.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I have found happiness in that place. You said something earlier, that we live our lives. We sometimes have mistakes, fallbacks, setbacks. They're not mistakes. They're not fallbacks. They're not setbacks. That's called experience, people.
Yeah.
Experience.
Yes.
You know, from my first film, A Piece of the Action, to my second film, which I don't even remember the name of it, it was a 10-year wait. It was 10 years, but I had to thank God that I could go back to theater, that I could do something like Dreamgirls, that I could develop my writing skills, that I could develop my speaking skills, that I was always on the path of developing myself.
That's a powerful message, because I think sometimes when things don't work out for people, we get stuck sometimes. Right? And we don't continue to grind, we don't continue to move, we don't continue to work, because we think that pause or that stop sign or that obstacle means that the journey is over.
And what that means is maybe you are at a point in the journey where you need to pause.
And regroup.
You need to maybe regroup.
That's right.
You might need to rethink what you think you thought. People say, why have you been able to carry on so long and still be happy? I'm happy.
Period.
There's a song, and I would listen to this song when I was younger, and I think that's a stupid song. And the song was, forget your troubles, come on, get happy. We're gonna chase all your blues away. Shout hallelujah, come on, get happy. Are you ready for the judgment day? And I used to think, that is so stupid. What do you mean, we're just gonna get happy?
Right.
And I realized, my God, you got to get happy.
Yes.
You got to get filled up with the joy, because bad times will come. I watched my dad fight the good fight against cancer. And my dad would be sick, but my dad was so full of joy, so full of happy. I one day looked at my dad, I said, Daddy, you can't be so sick and look so good. He said, baby, I'm happy.
But you said something, that your happiness, and I know it is the truth because I try to share it with people, your happiness cannot be contingent on external factors.
Thank you.
Right? It can't be outside of you.
Thank you.
It has to be internal.
Absolutely. This is so simple, people. It is complicated. Get happy, live in your joy, and you will have a wonderful life. Now, to some people, they're looking at me like I'm crazy. I've been there. But you see, when you get married and you're happy, then things don't work out, and you have to be divorced, and things don't work out. Now, you can live your life being so unhappy about that marriage, but maybe you might have gotten some children out of that marriage, and you better thank God for the joy and the happiness of those children. You get a job that you love this job, and it is taken away from you. You can be sad because it's taken away from you, or you can thank God for a good time you had in that job and welcome the new job that's going to come.
Absolutely.
But sometimes our vision gets clouded and we can't see what's coming. You got to know what's coming.
Listen, it's something, it's like I tell people here all the time, I didn't create it. I got it from a book called The Alchemist. That
that book.
There it is.
I love that book.
Whatever you believe, the universe will conspire.
Yes. The universe will conspire to bring it right to you.
Absolutely.
I'm telling you.
But there's something, and I can sit here all day. I'm trying to, But there's something about that. I shared at the 7:30 service. I watched an interview with the author of the book, Paulo Coelho, and he said, remember this, the universe is neutral. Said it doesn't choose right or wrong.
Thank you.
So when the universe conspires, it conspires around what you believe.
That's right.
Question is, what do you believe?
Yes. Yes.
If you believe negative, it will conspire for the negative.
Absolutely.
There it is. There it is.
And it's like sometimes you want to tell people sometimes, look in the mirror and check that person. Do not check anybody else unless you think that person is perfect. If that person is using their mouth not to speak love and be kind and be gracious, and if they can't do that, be silent, do not check anybody else. Because until your backyard is spick and span, till your backyard is clean, check the person in the mirror.
Give it up for the one and only Sheryl Lee Ralph.